What if all the volcanoes on Earth erupted at once? Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into a topic that's as thrilling as it is terrifying. What if all the volcanoes on Earth erupted at once? I mean, it's the stuff of movies, but today we're going to explore what would happen if this mind-boggling scenario became a reality. Understanding volcanoes. To comprehend the potential chaos, we need to start with the basics. Volcanoes, those majestic yet dangerous geological wonders, act as the Earth's pressure release valves, allowing molten rock, ash, and gases to escape from deep within. We have about 1,500 active volcanoes globally, but typically they don't all go off at once. So what if they did? Picture this: every single volcano simultaneously erupts, spewing out molten rock, ash, and gases in a mind-boggling display. The consequences would be nothing short of catastrophic, from grounded airplanes and falling crops to an overall sense of apocalyptic doom. Volcanic apocalypse. Now, imagine this. Every active volcano on Earth is going boom simultaneously. It would be a literal volcanic symphony of chaos, but not all volcanoes are playing the same tune. You see, not all volcanoes pose the same level of danger.
If all active volcanoes on Earth went off at the same time, there would be a lot of explosions. Explosive eruptions would churn out walls of rocks, ash, and gas, wiping out the nearby areas. You wouldn't be able to outdrive that giant hot cloud. Rocks as hot as 1,000 degrees would be traveling faster than 700 kilometers an hour. But not all volcanoes would erupt that powerfully. Instead of violently expelling magma, some volcanoes would steadily eject it onto the ground. That's called an effusive eruption. If your local volcano erupted that way, consider yourself lucky.
Those that haven't erupted in the last 10,000 years, like the extinct ones, just don't have any magma left. But here's the kicker. At any given time, there are about 10 to 20 volcanoes erupting somewhere on Earth. So when all active volcanoes on Earth erupt, you wouldn't stand a chance against those giant hot clouds of rocks, clocking speeds of over 700 kilometers per hour, with temperatures soaring to a scorching 1,000 degrees Celsius. It would create the loudest sound ever recorded on Earth. We're talking about an eardrum-shattering crescendo that would break Krakatoa's 172 decibel record.
Krakatoa, which wasn't even close to the size of a supervolcano, erupted in 1883. It released a roar so loud, the sound traveled nearly 4,800 kilometers across the Indian Ocean, shattering windows and deafening people in its path. And since even the smallest super eruption would dwarf Krakatoa's eruption, there is really no telling how much damage this would cause, but it would be epically catastrophic. And let's say you were lucky enough to survive this first wave of destruction.
Earthquake ramblings. Now, let's talk about those earthquake ramblings. Before the volcanic mayhem, the Earth would send out warning signals, like a prelude to the big symphony. These will be minor surface tremors caused by the buildup of magma beneath the Earth's crust. It's like the planet's way of saying, hey, something's brewing. That's your cue to grab your emergency kit and make friends with that guy who can start a fire without matches, because trust me, you're going to need all the survival skills you can get. Immediate devastation. So let's talk about what happens right when all those volcanoes decide to pop off simultaneously. Immediate devastation is the name of the game. Anyone within striking distance of a volcano during the eruption will face a catastrophic scenario. Massive volcanic bombs, which are basically super heavy balls of molten lava, will be hurled through the air. These fiery projectiles, weighing a ton or more, will destroy anything and everything in their path. The sheer volume of volcanic ash ejected into the atmosphere would blot out the sun. It's like a never-ending solar eclipse, and that's bad news for crops, wildlife, and basically everything that relies on sunlight to survive. Environmental impact. Now, if you think that's it, well, think again. The environmental impact would be catastrophic. The release of gases and lava would darken the skies, disrupt climate patterns, and, believe it or not, could even lead to acid rain. Our fragile infrastructure would be at risk, and seismic activities and tsunamis triggered by volcanic eruptions would further compound the devastation. So what about us, the apex species on Earth? Surviving in a post-volcanic apocalypse would be an enormous challenge. Power outages, food shortages, and the constant struggle to stay warm would become the new norm. It would be back to basic survival mode. Preparing for the apocalypse. Before we wrap up this thought-provoking journey, it's worth discussing how one might prepare for such an unlikely but fascinating scenario. Stock up on non-perishable food, water, and survival gear. Learn essential wilderness survival skills and consider making friends with that guy who can start a fire without matches. He could be your ticket to warmth and sustenance in a dark world. So there you have it, a glimpse into the intriguing scenario of what if all volcanoes erupted at once. It might sound like science fiction, but it's grounded in real geological possibilities. Our planet is a dynamic, ever-changing place, and sometimes it's worth pondering what might happen if nature's fury were unleashed on an unprecedented scale. Do you think it's even possible for all volcanoes on Earth to erupt at once? If yes, how would you adapt to a world with all volcanoes in full fury? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Until our next video, stay informed, stay prepared, and stay safe. Thank you for joining us.